It's smoke or pollen, something making me sneeze and scratching the back of my throat. I just turned the film off and sneezed real quick. Hopefully it doesn't stay in there. I might have to edit that sneeze out. Yeah, one other guy with a bike in here, bicycle. Really nice day. I mean, look at this. Just look around. Nobody's out here. It's later in the day. But still, no one's on these trails. You've got it all to yourself. You can see where that bike, you can see that right there. Looks like maybe a couple more. Looks like you turned off to the left there and went to some of those houses over there. Who knows for sure. Okay. These guys are freshly mowing this. They mowed it, and I think they came by. It had to put down at least a couple limbs across these trails. The trail superintendents have come by and they've moved this stuff. I've ridden almost the whole thing, and there's no signs of a tree being down or, you know, a tree across the trail. And they really maintain these trails well here. As you can see, this is freshly mowed. So they've cleaned this stuff out. That's why there's no trees down or anything like that. Gotta be. But it's been a good summer so far. Hoping it stays that way and goes into a good fall. I'm really looking forward to trying to get in here and, like, on my ride, seeing like right there, then the leaves change, and then they change more and then eventually fall down when it goes into winter. It's gonna be, I think that's gonna be a nice shot, you know. Maybe do a time lapse on something like that, or combine the raw footage. Because what I'm doing right now on the PC, I got I just made a folder, like, you know, GoPro 11 raw footage. There goes a deer. Spots on it. So short you couldn't even see it in the brush. I made a folder GoPro 11 raw footage, and then you go in there and you make subfolders with just a date and you drag it on over there. Then you bring it into the editing software, cut it up, do what you want, and then I made another folder that says movie, and you convert it with the date of the movie into that folder. So I still have the raw footage and the actual movie. So at a later date, if I wanted to go back, I could just recompile or cut up the raw footage, the raw data. So you could combine it into one slow, you know, movie as the leaves turn. It'd be pretty cool, I think. But we'll see. Yeah, one thing about these videos I'm making, these little clips, some of them are 10 minutes long, some are 15, some are 30. If I ever upload them to YouTube, I don't know what the optimal algorithm is or anything like that. I'm just doing it to, I'd be riding anyways, so I might as well, you know, shoot it. Maybe somebody can't get out here and get some enjoyment out of watching this. I mean, look at that. How could you not? The wind is really picking up. How could anyone not like that? Look at that lake. You know, Maybe people are stuck in the office, can't get out. Got a woman down here with a paddle board, 2 dogs with life preservers on it. It's pretty cool. She's going in. Yeah, yeah. That's pretty neat. I'm gonna move on. That's one thing I don't like doing. Even though you're out in the open and here in this state, you can film people without their consent if they're in the public view. I don't like filming people for the most part like that. I don't, you know, when I had to twist this to turn it and she knew what I was doing. If I was face on, she wouldn't know that I had a camera on me. And like the 360, yet again, would have caught, you know, could have sat there and watched her. For all I know, she tips over and gets all wet and makes a funny video. Gets up soaking wet, you know, or she gets in it and paddles off and it's perfect. But I would venture to say with those 2 dogs, she might have her hands full. And I got this not in the highest setting today. It's and a lower electrical assist. Not going to ride as far today and put in 5-6 miles today. Wow, look at that drop off. I don't know if you can see that. That's a heck of that's a drop off right there, buddy. Steep. Geese out on the pond. Somebody put these rocks in the way. So, there's the herring right there. You see that herring? I'm not gonna scare it. Oh, yeah, I did. Herrings are pretty smart. If that would have been a deer, he would have let me, more than most likely, if he's in the woods, go right by him. But that short little, the other deer that we just saw on the clip before this one, it's young. He panicked. He thought I could see him, and which I couldn't. I doubt I ever would have seen him in there. The top of his ears probably were sticking up, the only thing sticking out of those weeds, but he got nervous. He got scared. He panicked. Yeah, it still feels like more rain. I think I'm gonna cut for the barn here in a second. And I'm real close to a mountain over here on this side. And the storms stack up like on the other side of that mountain. Next thing you know, when they come boiling over that mountain, they're right on top of you. And if you're out here, you know, 2-3 miles away from the vehicle, 4 miles away, make a miserable ride back, or I probably would turn the bike off, cut the battery off for sure, and pedal on back manually. This unit, I do not believe is waterproof 100%. I think it's water resistant, but not waterproof. Plus, when I made the connection between the battery pack and the bike, I just cut the wires. It was the wrong connector, and I've soldered them on before, but then if you change it to a different bike, you got to recut the wires and resolder them. I just got some thick wire nuts, put the two together, twisted them on, and put the wire nut on. I haven't even taped them yet. I did that to both, negative and positive, and it's been going well, no problems. And that way, if I ever put it on another bike, because this did not have the XT, what are they, 90s and 60s? I think I had the 60s on the other bikes. This came with some funky connector. So I probably should have cut the funky connector and put the XT60s on there. But I just threw this thing together quickly. And, I mean, it literally took hour and a half, 2 hours to build this bike. There's nothing to it. Once you get the tools laid out, it's on there. Torque it down real good. Make sure you got the clamps on. I put two separate C-clamps on there. There's a guy on the video on YouTube, one went around the bike, and then the other clamp went in between the clamp that you just put on and the frame of your bike. And it hasn't moved at all. Knock on wood, it hasn't moved 1 inch. People say, oh, we'll rock back and forth. I haven't felt that at all. I probably put over, I don't know, 500,000 miles on this bike. I haven't even checked on the app. Gone 5.25 miles in the lower assist today. So it's been more of my riding speed instead of, you know, more of a workout instead of a cruising bike like I've discussed before. These hubs are great cruiser bikes, and they're fine. I mean, they're so economical. Like I said, you can get, or you could one time get those 1,000-watt hub kits for like 180 bucks. And oh, that's what I was gonna say. Some guy on the YouTube the other day, he's been messing around with these things for a while. He has unit pack power. Well, his unit pack power is going bad. It's getting so hot, the triangle one, that he's scared of it. It might blow up or catch on fire. He said it gets so hot. You know, the unit pack power, I talk unit pack power. They're not the brand name cells. It's like a middle of the road, lower tier, but mine has worked fine so far. And I have one triangle battery like he has. And so far, that thing's been good. The one time it's failed, it has a push to activate the power, turn the power on the battery. You got to push it in, little button, a 1/2 inch wide. You push that in. I pushed it in, and I didn't push it quite correctly, and it didn't engage 1 or 2 times. So you got to push it in at the correct angle, and it engages. But his is getting red hot. He says he's not even going to use it anymore. But his out was. One caveat is he said he really got caught in a bad rainstorm, and the water might have got up into the enclosed plastic housing somehow through the wires that come out that power the engine, and he thinks that might have played a part. Now, if that's the case, yeah, I could see, you know, something going bad. But yeah, these things apparently they can catch on fire and be dangerous. And I know I should show the pictures. I made my own connectors, and I soldered them together, and I hooked it up, and it came loose in the bag. And when I put those 2 terminals together, it exploded. It just vaporized in my hand. Burnt the top of my hands, sides of my hands real bad. It is not, I mean, you don't even have a chance to move. It's just like, and that's it, you're done. You're fried that quick. And after that, I went out and I bought a pair of welding gloves. I'm like, this isn't going to get me like that, but it was my own fault. I was rushing it, and instead of putting the insulation on there and then wrapping it, I just threw on some electrical tape, and eventually it touched. And when they rubbed together for a split second, and boom, that was it.